Growing up, my mom always told me one day I'd realize she was right about everything. I would respond the way every teenage girl responds to her mother. I'd roll my eyes, scoff, and say, yeah, whatever, Mom, with the ungrateful attitude only teenage daughters can muster. As it turns out, my mother was right. Not only about me realizing she was right, but also about every single thing she had ever told me. I now frequently tell my mom that she was right, which she of course revels in. But even though it's now common conversation between us, I'll still never forget the first time I ever told her. I was 19 years old in my sophomore year of college, living with the roommate from hell. She never went to class, her boyfriend was over constantly, and she would never do her share of the cleaning. This girl would not even change the toilet paper roll, which was ironic considering when I lived at home, neither did I. Oops. So one weekend after she'd gone home, I decided the bathroom needed a serious cleaning, and if she wasn't going to do it, I would have to. Everything was fine until I got to the shower. The drain was invisible under a tangled mound of hair, which I still say was mostly hers. Now, I don't know about you, but pulling hair out of the drain is a task that makes me physically ill. It is gross, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So as I was attempting to remove the fur ball, I got a hard slap in the face from reality. I don't know what it was about kneeling there on the bathroom floor, trying to get the hair out with a plastic fork, that made me think of my mother, but all of a sudden, the realization she'd so often spoke of happened. I walked out of the bathroom, picked up my phone, and I just kind of looked at it for a minute. I knew what I had to do, and I knew what was going to happen, but I didn't know if I was ready for the explosion of I told you so's that was headed my way. Finally, I dialed. I closed my eyes as it rang, already bracing for my mother's response. She answered, and I immediately said, I have to tell you something, but you're not allowed to be mad. I'm sure that's what every mom wants to hear from their teenage daughter who's away at college. She hesitantly agreed, and I proceeded. Mom, I just wanted to tell you you were right about everything. There was a silence on the other line, while I can only assume my mother was dancing around in glee and sending out the news on the international mom phone tree. After a moment, I heard a phrase I'm now all too familiar with. I told you so. I explained about the bathroom situation and how I was sorry for pretty much everything I'd ever done in my life, and that she was right. As I told her about the hairball and my dry heaving while trying to remove it, she imparted another nugget of wisdom. Dry heaving builds character. That's a keeper. Despite these smug smiles of satisfaction and countless I told you so's I now experience, whenever I concede to my mom that she was right, I'm so lucky. Most girls don't figure out their moms are right about absolutely everything until they're moms themselves. I guess you could say I'm a hairball ahead of the rest. I'm lucky enough to appreciate my mom's advice now, when I'm 21 years old and still have a lot of mistakes to make. Through all the mistakes and all the struggles ahead of me, I'm going to have my mom's wisdom and advice to help me, sass and all.